It's a pleasure to have you here. We start off on a rather sad note. 3 persons, including a 2-year-old boy, have died following a tanker explosion at Onyina Nofo in the Ahafwano Southwest District of the Ashanti region yesterday. 3 other children are yet to be found after the accident involving the Kumasi Tepa-bound vehicle. Now, the fire which swept through the community destroyed several homes. Love FM's Onyina Nofo has more in the following report.
Kwame Asare, who was drying his cocoa at the time of the incident, was nearly killed by the tanker. According to him, the diesel tanker lost balance while speeding and drove into a parked Ford Transit van before it caught fire. The tanker driver lost control and drove into the van. The tanker skidded into the village. The fire started immediately. Seth Edu, who is recovering from a stroke, is the father of the toddler who was killed in the incident. He was outside his home as the toddler slept at the time of the incident. But for his condition, he could have saved his son.
The
whole of the left part of my body is numb. I can't carry the child. It was between saving myself and perishing with him. Later, someone offered to carry me on his back to take me to safety. The fire service intervened to control the spread of the inferno. ADO1, Wikana Badomi, led the fire team.
So quickly what we did was to try to check the spread, protect the other building, preventing the fire from, affecting the other structures that were, nearby. So that was the strategy we used. So when we were able to successfully contain or control the spread, then we came back to the container, to the tanker, and then put out the fire.
At the time of the incident, many were out on their farms. Children who were home ran into bushes and other communities for safety. At the time of filing this report, 3 children remained missing. Residents are disturbed.
The
They went separate ways, so we have to move in all directions to find them.
Meanwhile,
the National Disaster Management Organization has been to the scene assessing the damage. Together with the district assembly, some arrangements were made for the affected persons to pass the night. Eric Nanajiman Prempe is Director General of NADMO.
We don't have hostels and hotels here. So we're looking at classrooms and the church buildings. The assembly, the DC is here. He's going back to the district capital to arrange for some mosquito nets and some blankets for them. I have called NADMO headquarters. They are also arranging to get some mattresses and other things. By tomorrow morning, they will also be here. We are doing the little we can to help the people who are homeless. In fact, apart from the Cheese Palace and few places, almost everybody has been rendered homeless now.
For JoyNews, Onyina Nofo reporting.
Onyina Nofo has returned to the community this morning and joins us with an update. Hello, Onyina. I can imagine that this community is still dealing with the shock, but tell us if the 3 missing children have been found.
So the information I've been able to gather this morning is that all 3 children returned home late into the night. According to the residents here, the children say they had to run to the farms and they were afraid to return because they thought the flame was still here. So they had to wait deep into the night before they returned to their homes. So far, from what I'm gathering, these children are doing well, but I'm yet to see any of them.
All right, Onyina, what about the 7 persons who were injured? How are they doing this morning?
We are yet to visit the hospital this morning. The information I've been gathering from NADMO and other agencies is that all the all the 7 persons are doing well. None of these people are in critical condition. So what is left here is a number of these residents here still in shock. Some are saddened by the situation as they look at the remains of their property. A lot of them have lost a lot of money. From the few people I've spoken to, they are mentioning sums in thousands of cedis. So the people here are still in shock. They are very sad. And from the information that I have yesterday, a lot of the people had passed the night in the basic school in this area. The NADMO, the NADMO came around, and through the NADMO, the district chief executive, they got them some mosquito balls, mosquito nets, and blankets to help them pass the night. And other people had to live with family who are in the community. So this morning, you see a lot of people are trying to find something to eat. And those who have their houses intact have been very generous. They cook in very huge saucepans. And you see a lot of people from the affected persons going to these homes to find something to eat or survive on this morning. So things are yet to return to normal.
All right.
In the community.
Nanaya, things may have returned to normal, but we know that some persons have lost their homes and, like you mentioned earlier, property in huge sums of money. Apart from the items you mentioned that NADMO had offered, have you picked up any information about some form of compensation?
The officials from the NADMO are here in the community, still assessing the damage. They are now picking the names of the affected persons. So they have a desk here where a lot of people are reporting to these desks to file their complaints or to tell them what they've lost to the fire. And also the information that I've picked is that the NADMO from Accra has dispatched some relief items to this area, and in about an hour or so, all these relief items be here for the people to survive on for some time. So as the NADMO continue to assess the damage and find appropriate compensation for these people.
And Nanaya, the fuel tanker itself, have we been able to establish its owners? Has anyone come up?
So far, there haven't been any person showing up as the owner of the fuel tanker, but I came here to find the National Petroleum Authority here. They are having a conversation with the chief. So if whenever they are able to finish this conversation they are having, we'll draw closer to them and try to get an interview. And maybe they tell us who owns the tanker, and any information that we can gather from this will be made available to our viewers as the day unfolds.
All right, Nanaya, we'll leave it here. Nanaya Ojima reporting from that community, Onyina Nofo, where a tanker explosion killed 3 people, including a 2-year-old toddler yesterday. Unfortunately, his father couldn't rescue him because he's just recovering from a stroke.